Australian James Courtney on pole position for round 8 of the Formula 4 Championship at Silverstone. And the stars of the future making their name for the first time in the UK in single-seaters in this category. Alongside him, Anthony Davidson. So the best of the Van Diemens and the best of the Migals sharing the front row. Third place, Robert Dahlgren, the second of the Works Van Diemen drivers. And alongside him, Mark Taylor in the number 13 machine, the Fulmar Racing entry. Well, the Silverstone International Circuit, 2.24 miles. And some pretty demanding high and low speed corners here. James Courtney, the winner at Oulton Park, in a race that he controlled comfortably and then drove away from the field in. Takes the lead from pole position. Anthony Davidson goes deep to the inside to fight off Robert Dahlgren. The red machine just holds on to second place, but the Miguel did not get away from the line well. And the Van Diemens right there, oh dear, off into the dirt at Stowe the first time. It's a very sad way to end a Formula Ford race at Silverstone. Well, here come the leaders through the Ireland curves. And they're bailing out of the 37 machine is Robbie Coleman, the Irish driver. And now recovering from his start, Anthony Davidson tries to go down the inside of James Courtney, but too late, too deep. Dahlgren takes the lead. Davidson stays second, but Courtney gets shuffled down to third. Taylor in fourth place. Well, that was a disappointment for the Aussie. James Courtney managed to avoid contact, and that's probably almost as important as hanging on to the place. So Davidson in second. It's Robert Dahlgren who leads though in the Works Van Diemen. James Courtney in third place in the other Works Van Diemen, and look, shuffled down the order there is the 13 machine. Mark Taylor being pushed out left, right and centre. Got offline coming into the complex, and a succession of cars have shoved their way past him. In trouble again, Alex Capadia. Saw him having a bit of a fraught race at Oulton Park. And Anthony Davidson again looking for the inside line. Robert Dahlgren holds on to the race lead though. James Courtney right with him. Courtney staying on the inside of the track as Anthony Davidson goes around into Maggots and then through Beckett's into the Ireland curves. So Anthony Davidson takes the lead in the red Miguel. Robert Dahlgren second, James Courtney third, the two Works Van Diemen drivers. Second and third place for them. Fourth place, the number 15 machine of Richard Goranson, the Swede, in a Vector. And Davidson making a mistake under braking, leaving it a fraction too late on the curbs, and they're very high indeed, and he makes contact with Dahlgren. Dahlgren is spun out. Davidson again somehow holds on to the lead, and look at this, side by side. Taylor comes very wide indeed around the outside of the 15 car of Goranson. Very brave move indeed by Mark Taylor under bridge. That's absolutely flat out. Don't forget they were just trying to recover and avoid the spinners there, and Goranson goes right under his wheel, somehow avoided lifting the wheel off the ground, which would definitely have spun Taylor out. There is Dahlgren behind that ferocious battle. Well, goodness me, now leading in all that confusion is James Bell. James Bell started in sixth position on the outside of the front row of the grid. Anthony Davidson comes down inside, and my God, the Miguel is so fast in a straight line. And he picked up a tiny toe from Robert Bell, but that Miguel really motors down the front straight at Silverstone. Maybe he's just got the final corner sorted out that comes out of the complex, Luffield. But whatever it is, Anthony Davidson can just pull in front of anybody on that straight, it looks like. Bell in second place, but he's smoking quite heavily there. You see at the back of his car, a little haze of smoke as he was coming off the overrun and then back onto the throttle. That may not be a sign of worse things to come, but you can never tell. On the outside there, James Courtney trying to take second place away from Bell. Has to stay in third though, the blue and yellow car. Then in fourth place it's Taylor, fifth place Goranson, still in sixth place we've got Robert Dahlgren. This is a classic Formula Ford race. What an exciting opening few laps already. And Robert Bell in second place, having led briefly. Further back, Another battle here with Michael Harfield leading the group, car number 11. Let's have a look here. Davidson braking, goes wide, wheel to wheel. Dahlgren on the outside, just about ahead, but for a foot or so. And then when Anthony Davidson dropped back off the curbs, just clipping him into the spin, and the others coming straight by. Robert Bell still second, James Courtney still third, Mark Taylor still fourth place, and it's still Anthony Davidson who leads. And it looks as though he's got the luck he needs to stay out there. This three-way battle behind, they fan out like the red arrows in formation. Little arm out of the cockpit there. James Courtney says thank you to Robert Bell, who could have turned in on him and caused a crash, and decided that it was better not to. It's good to see that Formula 4 drivers are learning that being mature and avoiding an incident when you could force one is often the better way to go. What a shame some of their Formula 1 brothers don't actually seem to have learned that lesson on the way up the ladder. Anthony Davidson still leads them. James Courtney in second place, the man who won the 6th round of the championship at Alton Park. Robert Bell in third, Mark Taylor in fourth. Davidson again able to open up space over James Courtney down the straight. Look at this battle for third place though. Bell just holding off Taylor. Robert Bell in a Mégane. Mark Taylor also in a Mégane, run by two different teams but essentially the same machinery. They're all using the Ford Zetec engine. Two French-built chassis, very evenly matched. Further back, there is the 17 machine and Marino Franchitti. His brother Dario, of course, the kart IndyCar driver. Still Bell and Taylor, third and fourth place, squabbling for position. James Courtney just can't stay with Anthony Davidson, the race leader, can't live with his speed. Davidson motoring away out front, very much as Courtney managed to do at Alton Park, as Mark Taylor runs very wide indeed into the gravel, just trying to carry that fraction too much speed into Stowe. You run wide there over a little curb. When you drop down over the curbs, the wheels go straight into the gravel, and it really tends to draw you in, but he managed to escape it just. There's Gary Catt in 5th place, and behind him Peter Gray, car number 7, in 6th position, another of the Works Van Diemens. Catt also in a 2000 model Van Diemen. He goes for the inside line here at Abbey. Peter Gray going in wide so he can try and come out tight, but it's really one line out of Abbey. When they get to Bridge though, all bets are off. When you get into Bridge and out the other side into the complex, then you do have a chance to slingshot by. Catt running wide to try and preserve his 5th position. Through Priory, down another gear into Brooklands, and then the long 180-degree right-hander at Luffield, hugging the curbs on the inside. There's the race leader, the red car of Anthony Davidson. James Courtney in 2nd place, some 3 seconds back. Then further back, Robert Bell. Gary Catt now has jumped to the lead of this group because they have caught Mark Taylor and passed him. There's Catt, he's in 4th place. And Mark Taylor and Peter Gray, well in fact it's Peter Gray and Mark Taylor. Taylor trying to get underneath Gray there, but not having enough room to get past the blue machine. So this is 4th, 5th and 6th all together under Bridge. And let's see who goes where. Well, it's line astern into Priory. Maybe a chance down into Brooklands. Very hard to take somebody unawares here in the complex at Silverstone though. And then through Luffield. The infield section they prefer to call it at Silverstone. We don't have complexes at Silverstone. Yes. So very close indeed, this little trio. Gary Catt seeming to be able to hold on out front. Robert Bell here goes through in 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Peter Gray, the man doing all the moves in the middle. That may cost him because Mark Taylor's looking to make a run. So go through Maggots and Beckett's. And then turn into the island curves. Named after Innes Island, former Grand Prix driver, most famously of course notably for Lotus, raced in the 60s, and a leading light at Silverstone up until his untimely death just a few years ago. Anthony Davidson smoking really puffing quite badly there in the closing stages, but a long way ahead of James Courtney and probably no need to worry. Robert Bell in third and then everybody in fourth. Gary Catt, Mark Taylor and Peter Gray, fourth, fifth and sixth, with Richard Goranson right with them there. And a very smoky Anthony Davidson. If he can see that in his mirrors, he will be a worried man over the last few laps, waiting for it all to either come to a halt or get to the line. It's the line first though. It can come unstitched now as far as he's concerned. He doesn't care, he's done what he needs to do and won the race from James Courtney. And Gary Catt in the yellow car will take fourth from Mark Taylor, Peter Gray and Richard Goranson. All four of them covered by about half a second. Very close indeed. Not sure they've actually seen the checkered flag there either. Anyway, Anthony Davidson the winner from James Courtney, Robert Bell in third.